Time now for Afternoon Headlines, sponsored by Ram Trucks. They are built to serve. All year, Micah Parsons talked about going to the Super Bowl, and gosh darn it, he did it. Hosted a podcast from Las Vegas where he laid out a plan for how the Cowboys can improve on a season that saw them embarrassed in the wildcard round. Take a listen.
We need to paint a better picture of who we want to be, fix our mistakes. People need to have way more accountability. I just think we let things slide too often because we know we're good. And
absolutely.
So that's all about me, bro. I want to change the culture. I want to change the identity of what the Cowboys are. Cut the charades out. Cut the extra stuff out. I just want people to lock in for 22 or whatever.
22 weeks, bro.
Okay, Brew.
That's great.
Your reaction.
Does that mean he's dropping the podcast?
I don't believe
Wouldn't that be extra stuff?
Well,
maybe.
Look, I like what he said, but here's the problem. Micah can't change the culture because Micah doesn't set the culture. Jerry Jones created this culture, and I think that culture's been there since Jimmy Johnson left, and including when Barry Switzer was there. And they got a little more lax, and Jerry took more, obviously, ownership and leadership, and it's been that culture ever since. And so the culture to me is we are a soap opera in a football setting, and our main thing is entertainment. Unspoken, but that's our main thing. They need to switch from that to being a football franchise where football is first. Football is the only thing. But only Jerry Jones can do that. Micah can't do it.
Well, Bill Parcells coached there, and I can promise you that wasn't the culture when Bill was there. So there was that time period. And look, I don't get this. I don't know if Micah says something and then the public reacts to it, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to say exactly the opposite thing. Because just a few weeks ago, he said he was fine with his playoff appearance. He was content with his preparation, all that stuff. He was good. You know, it was everybody else's fault. His one tackle in the playoff game, or in the game they lost, was outstanding. So you want to be accountable for yourself. Let's just start there. Let's just start there, and you take care of what you're supposed to take care of. You're a leader by virtue of your ability. So act like a leader, be a consistent person out in front, and set an example. And don't talk about it, and don't talk about all the things you want to change. To do something about it. It's just over and over and over again. He gets on and talks about what needs to get done. Yeah, it's so old.
Okay, can I defend Micah Parsons
for
a minute? Listen, hold on. And I think you might agree with me. Maybe. I believe his heart is in the right place.
Yes.
I believe he truly wants not just the personal accolades and these things. I think he wants to be great. I think he wants the team to be great. And I think he is, like a lot of very young people, kind of figuring out the exact path towards that. Okay. And the problem, and now I'm going to sound like an old man, and I don't mean to.
Say it, old man.
The problem is he is figuring it out in real time behind a microphone, and we're all on the journey with him. And so this is, to your point, Brew, about the guys who typically have these, are, older veterans, or, they've been through it more, or to your point that he needs maybe a better producer or co-host or somebody, those things. Instead, it is stream of consciousness. I don't think any of it is, I haven't heard him ever, throw his teammates under the bus. What do you mean?
Who's he throwing under the bus
on accident,
there?
sometimes he does it. Our game plan wasn't where it was supposed to be.
Well, that's not his teammate.
Okay.
I think maybe
is it the team?
Coaches.
He's throwing Dan Quinn under the bus.
Yeah, that's not his teammate.
He's throwing Mike McCarthy under the bus.
No,
he's throwing Jerry Jones under the bus.
He's not throwing under the bus, but there was, he had some guests on. He had Stephen A. on, and Stephen A. Was like, oh, I get to do my Dak stuff, and he was cooking, and then and Micah Parsons like, I've seen Dak in big moments, and then Stephen A. cooked him again.
Oh, well, again, this is, and this would just similarly, and I respect Stephen A., but if then afterwards Micah was like, all right, now pass rushing drills,
that's
you
what I'm
versus
saying.
me.
Well, of
this
course.
is really unfair. Of course, Stephen A. is going to be better at that.
But Micah's entering into that.
I know, I get it, but my point is, and he is putting himself up for criticism, so I get it's fair game. But I don't look at this as, I look at Micah Parsons as wants to be part of the solution, understands maybe because of some of the criticism that there is an accountability issue or a culture issue, but hasn't solved how to fix it. And he's trying to figure it out in real time.
Yeah.
And it's
for Bleacher Report.
well, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's Bleacher Report is the one winning this.
Right.
Yeah.
Bleacher
They're the
Report
only
wins.
ones
You could. I mean,
Right.
he could be like, you know what? I'm not doing the podcast. Would that hurt the team?
No, that would help. As great as the podcast is for us, he really should stop.
So
I don't want to get in his pockets, but he
can
really
I?
should
So
stop.
can I ask you real quick? I know we have less than a minute here. I know we always talk about players don't get in other people, don't count another man's money, those types of things. Does Mike McCarthy have the authority to say, you can't do that? You can't do the podcast? Or is that now like, buddy, I'm off the clock and I'm not doing anything against the rules, like that would cause a real problem?
Yeah, I don't think that. It depends on what the conduct detrimental to the team is. So if you feel like an action that a player is taking is conduct detrimental, you can then potentially fine the player for those things. But it's a gray area, it's a slippery slope, and you don't really want to have to be in a position to do that. You want your guys to go out and be successful and make money and all those things. You just don't want them to do it at the expense of the rest of the group.
Jerry could do it if he'd stop talking himself.
Well,
Travis Kelce
set the
had all those
standard.
drops earlier
Jerry
in the year.
owns the team.
I know, but if he wants
Wright's
to win,
podcast.
stop talking. And then you can say to
Kelsey's
Micah,
podcast is great.
It's
Andy as a
awesome.
co-host.
Co-host. Maybe
Ray
just get a
Mysterio.
colorful Rockets hosting the Knicks. I'm in Thompson over the shoulder. Studying. More on this game in a second. Didn't go well for Ramsey. Let's just
No,
say that.
is that why I haven't seen him today? I thought he might be protesting outside Adam Silver's office.
Spurs in Toronto. Behind the back pass to Wemby. Wemby had 10 blocks, but I didn't find any of them that interesting. I thought this was the most interesting. Wemby finishes with 27-14 and a 10-block triple-double.
you ready to give him his props now? And they won, too.
Yeah, congratulations. They're okay.
They're not okay. He's been
He's
very
phenomenal.
good. He's been very good. I'll give him credit. Wild is a wins guy. I told you, Wild doesn't want him to keep stats
Houston
or give
is not in the
MVPs.
playoffs
No, I
Just
don't.
win-loss.
Yeah, that would be great.
I know, that's what I'm backing
Could you
you
imagine?
up.
It's like 21 with Nick and we lose the game. Be like, well, I had 4 rebounds. Like, we're playing pickup.
KW, I have your back.
Warriors in Utah, time winding
Warriors
down.
getting it
You
together.
got to give the ball to Draymond when you need a big shot. He gets it. 12-9-8 Warriors. Now 1 game above 500. Draymond, he's right.
He's right about what?
He came back and they're playing great.
Well,
He said his suspension helped him.
Yeah.
Kaminga has emerged.
Kuminga has emerged.
And
All right.
why did he emerge when Draymond left and everyone got
Can't wait till he hits another guy.
weird Wolves Clippers? McDaniels and Harden tied up. No call here. Refs just like keep playing. You know what? I loved it. Wolves win by 21.
Now, there's some contact right there.
No,
Yeah, but
Harden's
Harden's
doing
doing his
his thing.
jabroni stuff.
Call it on
Turned
Harden.
into Travis Kelce.
I started that before him.
Did you?
Yeah.
Do you need to fight for your right to party?
No, that's Kelsey's.
Nope, it's the Beastie Boys. Weird. Tied at 103 winning
This
seconds.
is egregious.
This is